Good morning, beloveds. Apologies. It's springtime. The irony is it's pouring out there. It's a good, steady, not quite light. It's a little bit more than light rain. Apparently when my husband first got up, it wasn't raining. By the time I made it out into the living room, it was, but barely. So we went ahead and did the walk in the rain. So, you know, my jacket is soaked, but it's okay. And yeah, like today would be the perfect day to stay home, open the windows and just listen to the rain all day. I'm not going to do that, but I want to. So yeah. We are doing The Voice Celestial. We're in book 2. I'm going to do the housekeeping really quickly. And all the housekeeping is reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. That will get you 1 email a week unless something unusual happens. The hot links are hot and it tells you what's going on for the month and the week. And nobody will see your email. So you won't get anybody else's email because of us. So there's that. We do not monetize the social media. So what we ask you to do is to go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. It bumps us in the algorithms. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do, which is why we don't monetize them. But if you will do that, then it bumps us in the algorithms and more people see our stuff. So we would appreciate that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark on the social medias. And I am the running Rev Ryan on the platforms that I am on. Now, interestingly enough, today, it's really, really short because that's it. Just that. It does not go on to a second page. Now, we do have 2 days with the Buddha, but we have 1 day of this and, you know, then the next, so that's chapter 6. And then the next one is Buddha the Enlightened. So I'm like, okay. So here's that. Now, I'm going to remind you that this is poetry. They wrote an epic poem in the style of the Iliad and the Odyssey. And the first one was the journey through of the Wayfarer, which is me and you and Ernest and Fenwicke as they came through the religion. What book 2 appears to be is all of the information that they read through, you know, that Ernest clearly has read some of the Vedas and probably the Upanishads and, you know, the Bhagavad Gita and the other one starts with an M. Nope, I'm not going to do that. You know, obviously he's read all of the books of the Bible. That's what they did growing up, you know, up in New England. And I was flipping through. So, you know, he's talking about Moses and Jesus and Plato. And so, you know, he's and they touched on the Greek, you know, in the early one because they talk about love and beauty. And that's definitely a Greek idea. So that's, and occasionally, you know, like I took issues with the way he said in one of the chapters in the second one, the Rama chapter, about women no longer being the priests and guarding and I took exception to it. I just kind of went, and I talked to Reverend Jesse about it and I kind of went, what's going on here? I don't like it. And he said, did you say that? And I said, yes, I'm outraged by it. And he says, good, people need to know that. And he says, but it could be the rise of patriarchy. I haven't gone back and read that because I'm not sure I agree with him. It could be. And it probably is about the rise of patriarchy. But, you know, just the way Ernest said it, I was like, that's not okay. When I read the Science of Mind text, I gender neutraled it. Now this, I did not gender neutral because it's poetry and it might be weird. But I am a little tired about I'm a little tired of how masculine it is. You know, it's like we're over half the world's population. Women are, you know, and I know he adored his wife. So I'm a little surprised he didn't do a little bit more. Not that he's not a huge supporter, because that's one of the things about Ernest that you can say, you know, there were never rules. They never had to change rules to allow people of color in. They never had to change rules to allow women into leadership positions. They never had to change rules to allow the LGBTQ family in. There were never rules against it. You know, they never had to change any rules. So, you know, but he's a product of his time. And so he was writing in. And that's one of the things that I try and remember. But it's also, because I am a product of my time, why I gender neutral things. I want to be more inclusive. But I'm not doing it here because, again, epic poetry. So as we go forward, and that's one of the reasons why in book 2, I've been throwing links links on the videos, so that if you want more information, you can go get more information. Because the world has this rich and vast tapestry of, you know, spirituality. And that's part of what Science of Mind tapped into. To this rich and varied tapestry, to say, you know what? Everybody's got everybody's got a golden thread running through their faith. And it's up to each of us to grab that golden thread and hold on. And to separate the wheat from the chaff, if I may use a farming metaphor. Not that I've ever done that. Farmed, I mean. You know, it's up to us to do that. And I'm particularly passionate about it because one of the things that I did do growing up is I loved world mythology. Like Joseph Campbell is one of my heroes. You know, he's one of the people that I look to and go, okay, you know, I love what you did. And the cool thing about Joseph Campbell is he went to an event with Fenwicke Holmes and had a conversation with Fenwicke Holmes. And Fenwicke Holmes is the one who introduced him to the idea of following your bliss. You know, I don't know that he said it in so many words, but so, you know, so we've come full circle. Like I grew up loving Joseph Campbell, ended up finding Ernest and Fenwicke Holmes in Science of Mind, which just enhanced my love of Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell was inspired by Fenwicke Holmes. Go figure. I grew up on Star Wars, and there's an interview with George Lucas where you can see in the background of the interview the Science of Mind text. Where do you think the Force came from? He got it from the Science of Mind. I think he even said it in an interview. So here we are. All right. So I'm going to just read this one page and then we're going to go on. I just figured I'd take an opportunity to talk a little bit more about it since it's just one page. What we've been doing for the duration. So let me just put that down there. Okay. All right. So like I said, we are on chapter 6. This is Ascription to the Buddha, which I'm not even sure is a real word, but the the text bar accepted it. Yeah. So here we go. Through you, O Buddha, light of Asia, we behold the law that binds or sets souls free. You, who through reason's higher vision saw that the ever-turning circuits of life's law. Yours was the offering of celestial light that pierced the darkness of the veil of night. You saw the souls incarnate on the earth, bound endlessly in fear of death and birth. By black belief that in the soul is hidden the faults of former lives, and that unbidden it must return to suffer, yet it then will sin once again and must return again. You saw the wheel of life go round and round, on which imprisoned souls of men are bound. You who believed lives come and go, to pay to earth the karmic debt they owe. You showed the way of wisdom by which men escape the chains that bind them back again, and proved to them that from the timeless shore enlightened souls need return no more. If they be free from the fell illusion's blight, they pass from darkness to nirvana's light. The soul evolves, nor ever again returns, but finds the peace towards which it fondly yearns. Man is self-bound and by himself set free when he shall take the path, O Buddha, set by thee. And that's it. Now, we are going to talk a little bit more about Buddha tomorrow. And it's important. There's a couple of things that are important about this chapter and probably the next. Because there is this idea of reincarnation. Now, if you talk to Ernest didn't believe in necessarily reincarnation. He definitely believes that the soul is immortal, but he didn't see the point in coming back. He said he believed in a spiral upwards. And most of the time when people talk about karma, they do talk about karma only from the negative. But karma is simply what you do, be it positive or negative. You do build up a karma. Think about it like a bank account. The more good you do, the more karmic good you have. And the more bad you do, the more karmic debt you have. I don't know. Just like Ernest doesn't know. Do we come back here? I have no idea. I have inklings. I have suspicions. I have ideas, but I don't honestly know. And in the long run, it doesn't matter. What happens is what's going to happen. All that's important is that I believe that the soul is immortal, which I do. But if you look at the life of Buddha, he was raised in privilege. There was prophecy about him that he could either be a great prophet or he could be a great king, or a great teacher or a great king. So his father tried to shield him from becoming the teacher by shielding him from the world and raising him in the privilege. Siddhartha, the rest of his name popped out of my head. And as happens, life got in the way. There was a chariot driver that agreed to take him for a ride through the village. And that's the first time he saw sickness and death and went, wait a minute. And so Buddha was like, wait a minute. And so he left his life in Prayer Village and he tried all of the paths. He tried the aesthetic path and he had already lived the privilege path. He's tried everything. And so what Buddha is famous for is the middle way. The middle way. But he's also famous for stepping off the wheel of reincarnation. So we'll see what he gets into tomorrow. But, the story of the Buddha, it's just like the story of Zoroastrianism is interesting. The story of Buddha is interesting. The story of, so there's this rich tapestry. Tap in. All right. Yes. So now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a dance in the rain day, a drink plenty of water day, a enjoy the cooler weather day, a be safe on the roads day, a turn around if you don't know how deep the water is day. Some of the southern places have gotten a lot more rain than we have. So be careful day. You got this day. A joyful day. A do something fun for yourself day. A good day. And if that's too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough. Just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9:15 tomorrow so that we can tackle the second chapter, which is the 7th chapter on the Buddha. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.